Hey, food explorers. Welcome back. My name is Colleen. You're here on the channel. I did a video a couple days ago just talking about 2024, sort of how 2024 went. We had a lot of success doing videos and podcasts that were just audio and Substack. And I've been thinking about sort of this channel and how I want to go forward and some of the things that I want to do and just things that I've been watching other YouTubers do that I get so much joy out of. And so we're going to do kind of a little bit of a twist on some of the videos. And here's why. When I started this channel, so 2021, I recorded my first episode and I didn't publish it. And I let it linger for a long time. And then when I finally did publish it, it was like I had to cut half the episode out because almost 2 and a bit years later, some of the stuff was just completely not relevant. But we still got an episode out of it, which was great. But my biggest thing was editing. And I just, knowing how long it takes to edit, I think that a lot of people don't realize, like these super polished graphics coming out at you, stuff in the background, top shots, down shots, all these shots. They're great, but oh my goodness, they take forever to edit. So if I record a video that's, say, an hour, it's taking me 4 or 5 just to do like the pass-throughs of the video to add in the stuff, and then it's everything else. So anyways, long story. But I started thinking about, like, I just want to be able to make videos. And so what were the friction points? Friction points were not having things set up. So every time I need a video, I need to set the entire studio back up again. Every time I need to do a video, it's like trying to pull in all the props and trying to, oh my gosh, well, how am I going to edit this and this and this together? And I thought, you know what, let's just make it easier. Let's make it easier. So we're going to do this for a little bit and see how it goes. And with that, what I wanted to do today was talk about baking. I used to bake all the time. I wrote a couple Substack articles about my love of baking and how it was just so easy. And so then, I started thinking about the podcast and why is it so hard just to get episodes done? Then I started thinking about my baking, and I'm not kidding you. So here's some of my books in the background. If you're watching this video, I have a lot of I should count how many cookbooks I have. I have cookbooks, I have reference books, I have baking books, I have food story books, memoirs, I have everything. I have a lot. I just got a brand new book. I actually bought this for myself. I did talk about this book last year, A Whisper of Cardamom by Eleanor Ford. This book is stunning. It is gorgeous. It is everything that I want in a cookbook. And this is all baking stuff inside here. And I'm thinking to myself, I want to make some of these recipes. So how do I take the friction away from baking so that if I want to make something, I could just go and bake? And I think I've talked about this before where, when we go to our friends in Canmore, Jim and Grace, Grace bakes all the time. So when I'm there, I actually will bake stuff because it's so easy. She has everything. When I go to Jason's mom's house, it's so easy. She's got everything. And what I mean by everything is all the baking supplies are in one spot. All the baking ingredients are in one spot. All the recipes are in one spot. So it's really quick and easy to just go bing, bang, boom, and you can start baking. And so I have this whole commercial kitchen downstairs. So you're going to come along on a journey with me, and I am going to get it all set up for baking because it's not set up at all for baking right now. I don't even have the ingredients for baking, but I have these amazing cookbooks that I have purchased that I really like. Wrinkled chocolate vanilla cookie. My goodness, there's so many things in here. So I'm going to start setting up my baking, and thought, well, you guys can come along with me and see how I'm setting it up. And maybe this will help you to have your baking ready. I'm going to have some of my coffee. I made myself a nice little hot coffee. So while I'm down here kind of organizing, getting things done, I thought I'll have a coffee. Now, the other reason I want to start baking again, 1, I love baking. I really do love baking. 2, I have really cool ingredients. some of the olive oils and vinegars and stuff that I have. I can use the olive oil 1-to-1 for baking, instead of butter if I wanted to. The other thing is I love eating baking. So when I start looking at, so what's my biggest expenses? So if you're watching, I'm holding up a box from the Italian Center. I love the Italian Center. So I went there today and I bought myself a brownie. So they have these brownies. They're pretty good. This one was a chocolate walnut brownie. So it's a pretty large size brownie. And a good price, $3.75. Like for this size of a brownie nowadays, so it's probably 4 inches, 2 inches wide, and about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to guess this weighs about 300 grams. So that's not bad for a brownie that size. But when I look at my spending and the amount of disposable income that we have nowadays, $3.75 for that brownie, it's a good price, but I could make a whole tray of brownies, and I probably am going to spend less per slice than I would for this. So I'm going to measure this brownie later. I'm pretty sure it's 4x2 by 1 and a bit. I'm going to measure it, I'm going to weigh it, and I'm going to make some brownies, and I'm going to price it out. So the other thing I thought I would do is take you guys shopping with me. And honestly, if you're a human being and you have been out shopping lately, you know how expensive everything is right now. It blows my mind how much it is. And so I want to also look to find some of the best pricing for items. So I'll bring you on that journey as well. And also just figuring out sort of how much, if I make a dozen muffins, how much it costs. I went to a coffee shop the other day, as I want to do. I go to a lot of coffee shops. I've also stopped doing as many coffee shops because, honest to goodness, friends, I can make myself a real good coffee at home, and this costs me $1.35. And when I go out for a coffee, I'm paying $7 or $8 because I can't drink the milk of the cow. And it's just insane to me that a coffee is costing me this much. This is $1.35. It's a fancy latte. There's a big, giant, foamy, fancy latte, and it's delicious. So I'm also cutting down on going out to coffee shops. Like, really, unless I need to meet somebody for a meeting or a catch up, I'd rather, why don't you come here? I'll make you a fancy latte. I can make that fancy latte. I have 12 different types of coffee that you can choose from. There you go. But I did go to a new coffee shop the other day. I'm not going to say the name of it. I will not be going back, though. Couple reasons. One, the muffin. That was just a muffin. It was like a medium-sized muffin. So, when you buy the little muffin, oh my God, what are they called? Oh, there's a word for them. Muffin tin liners. Wow. You can get small, medium, large, extra large. This was like a medium muffin. And it was $6. And I bought it, and I knew it was $6, but I wanted to buy it because in my brain I was like, I want to know if this muffin is good, and it was worth the $6. The muffin tasted fine. It was not worth $6, though. And I was quite ill afterwards, which was really unpleasant for me. So yeah, I bought a cookie as well. It was also expensive, way more expensive than it needed to be for a little itty bitty tiny cookie. Like if I go and buy a New York style cookie and they're those big chonky cookies and they're charging $5.75, I get that. That's a big old cookie. However, when you have a little tiny cookie and you're charging me almost the same price, I'm unhappy. So I haven't been baking. I want to get baking again. So we're going to do some baking. We're going to change the format of the video a little bit. I don't want to be doing a ton of editing, so I'm kind of be doing stuff in single shots and putting it together. I hope that you enjoy that kind of a format. And then definitely the books that I have, the cookbooks that I have, like this Whisper of Cardamom book. I'm still just going through it page by page because it is just absolutely stunning. So if you haven't had a chance to look at or pick this book up. Not only is it a book for baked items in there, it's also a reference book. It has a section in the front where it has the spices. It's got information about each of the spices, all the way from why she loves the spices, how to match them, how to extract the flavor, and also then sort of their flavor profile. Is it earthy? Is it woody? Is it pungent? Like where does it lie on the spectrum? Jason and I have a lot of spices in our house. We actually use spices though. Like when we're making things, we're not putting, a little dab of something in. We're using a lot. But even with that, we have so many spices. And so I said to him today, I really want to find ways to start using these spices. I have all these balsamic vinegars and olive oils from Evolution. I love them. And I want to start finding ways to use them, because as we're seeing the prices of things increase, we really have to sort of look to the shelves of what we have at home. And we are definitely not one of those households that has, the Costco size of every item. Like that's not how we shop. Today we went to Superstore. We saved $30 on groceries at Superstore, because if you bought clothes at Joe Fresh, you got points. And I'm starting a new teaching gig in February, so I needed a couple things. And then we went to the Italian Center, and we had a gift certificate for the Italian Center, so we ended up spending $2.27 on the rest of the groceries. We just bought in a small amount, but we bought, a tomato for the next couple days, cucumbers for the next couple days. We aren't buying things and going, gosh, I hope this lasts for 5 weeks in my fridge. We're buying things to use. So those types of things we use quickly. It's the other things, the oils, the vinegars, the sauces, the condiment type of things that take longer to use. So I'm kind of on a mission to start using them. And so that would be another thing that I want to kind of share and show you guys is, how to use them. The last thing I wanted to say is, and I want to make for these episodes sort of that up to about 20-minute mark for them. Jason found a new YouTube channel. I need some more coffee. Hello, thank you. So Jason found a new YouTube channel called Weird Explorer. And it's this dude, and he travels all over the world, basically finding fruit to talk about it. And I'll link the episode below. He did an episode about nutmeg that blew my mind. In the first 12 minutes of his video, and it was just under 2 hours, in the first 12 minutes, I was like, oh my God, I learned so much. There's so much I did not know. Did you know that the nutmeg, you get the little, it's like pod thing that you scrape, and then that's your nutmeg in your recipe? That little seed comes enclosed in sort of this red, almost like if you took leaves and you kind of put these leaves around. The leaves are the spice mace. I did not know this. And the fruit of the nutmeg kind of looks almost like an apple pear in color, smaller, but you can eat the nutmeg fruit as well. And he had it like pickled, and he had it straight up fruit, and he had it as juice, and I was just kind of going, I didn't know any of this stuff. But then what I really enjoyed was he actually did the history of nutmeg. Spoiler alert, the history is awful, because these poor people that had the nutmeg, basically the Portuguese kind of came in and squashed them, and then the Dutch came in and they really squashed them. And so a very unhappy history about nutmeg, but it was fascinating. So we've kind of been watching his channel a bit lately, and I like his videos. And again, like, he's not doing a ton of editing on his videos, and some of it's out of focus, and so it's kind of funny, but he's just like a straight up real guy, just chatting, and I kind of like that. So couple things. So I'm going to set up baking. I'm going to set up some stuff with the cookbook. I'm going to do some price comparisons. We're going to go shopping. I got a new grip coming for my phone so that I can actually have it with me while I'm out and about. And yeah, I think it's going to be good because for me, I start teaching again in February, and I'm going to be teaching for almost 2 months. I don't want to have to go and, buy a muffin somewhere because I feel snacky and I want a muffin. I would rather just get something at my house that I made myself and I know what the ingredients are. And it seems easier to me. So, it's a little bit of that and a little bit of, I do miss baking. And I mean, I used to make scones. I want to say I made scones like at least once every 2 weeks. I love making scones. So there's a little bit of that. I want to make those things again. I want to try some recipes out, see what I think of them, and start using ingredients and start using the spices that I have. I'm looking at it right now. I have an entire jar of poppy seeds. So I went the other day, I spent $6 on a lemon poppy seed muffin. Oy boy, I could make a lemon poppy seed muffin myself. Not only do I have the poppy seeds, I have the lemon olive oil. Come on, Colleen. So with that, nice quick episode for you today. And make sure, just, if you want to follow along with all this fun stuff, I will still have interviews. Don't worry. I definitely am going to still have interviews and all of that kind of stuff. But I wanted to kind of take away some of that friction for making videos, taking away some of that friction for doing things like the baking and all that great stuff. So with that, please make sure you subscribe and have a wonderful day wherever you're at in the world. I hope you make it a great day. Thanks, everyone.